Imagine a city shimmering on the edge of the Mediterranean Sea. This was Alexandria, a bustling metropolis founded by Alexander the Great himself, a place where cultures collided. Egyptian mystique, Greek intellect, at its heart stood more than stone and papyrus, the intellectual engine of the ancient world. The great Library of Alexandria, not merely scrolls. It was a promise, a bold declaration. All human knowledge could be gathered and studied in one place. Scholars, dreamers, kings were drawn to its light, seeking wisdom, ambition breathtaking in scale. What treasures did those legendary shelves actually hold? The collection was vast, numbering in the hundreds of thousands of scrolls. It was a library of everything. Here, you could find the complete works of Homer, the complete works of Sophocles, the complete works of Euripides, not just single versions, but multiple editions from different cities. Scholars could compare texts and create definitive master copies. Imagine having access to lost plays by Aeschylus, or the complete unabridged histories of Herodotus. It was a treasure trove of poetry, drama, rhetoric, foundational stories that shaped our culture, many of which are now lost to us forever. But the collection went far beyond the arts. This was a temple to science and mathematics. It was here that Eratosthenes calculated the Earth's circumference, using little more than shadows and sticks. The story of the library's end is not a single dramatic event, but a slow, agonizing decline, a death by 1,000 cuts. There is no one moment of cataclysm. Instead, its destruction is a murky tale shrouded in blame politics and the mists of time. The first significant blow came during Julius Caesar's civil war in 48 BC. While besieged in the city, Caesar set fire to ships in the harbor. The flames, history tells us, spread uncontrollably and consumed a portion of the library, or perhaps a warehouse filled with scrolls destined for it. While likely not a total annihilation, this event marked the beginning of the end. It was a wound from which the great institution would never fully recover, a sign that its protected status was no longer guaranteed. Over the following centuries, the library suffered from neglect and further violence. As the intellectual and political climate of Alexandria shifted, so did the fortunes of its famous institution. Periods of civil unrest saw parts of the city, including the district where the library was located, damaged or destroyed. The rise of militant religious zealotry created an environment hostile to the classical learning and open inquiry that the library represented. In 391 AD, the Roman Emperor Theodosius I ordered the destruction of all pagan temples. The Serapeum, a daughter library to the main institution, was razed by a Christian mob, and its precious scrolls were likely lost in the chaos. This gradual decay is perhaps more tragic than a single fiery apocalypse. It speaks to a society slowly turning its back on its own intellectual heritage. The loss was not just of scrolls, but of the very spirit of inquiry that the library embodied. The scholars were scattered, the funding dried up. What secrets, what earth-shattering discoveries vanished in those fires and years of neglect? Did the scholars of Alexandria map the solar system with the sun at its center, a theory proposed by Aristarchus of Samos nearly 2,000 years before Copernicus? Were there detailed histories of civilizations that we now know only through myth or pottery shards? Perhaps there were scrolls containing lost technologies, steam engines, advanced automatons, like those hinted at in the writings of Hero of Alexandria. The destruction of the library wasn't just the loss of books. It was the loss of potential futures, of paths not taken. If the library had survived, how different might our world be today? It is a tantalizing question that haunts the imagination. A continuous, unbroken line of scientific inquiry could have accelerated human progress immensely. Imagine a world where the Industrial Revolution arrived not in the 18th century, but in the 8th. If the astronomical knowledge of the Greeks had been built upon, humanity might have reached for the stars centuries earlier. The Renaissance might have been less a rebirth and more a seamless continuation of classical discovery. We might have avoided the so-called Dark Ages altogether. The vast collection could have fostered a greater understanding and tolerance between cultures. If the full works of ancient historians were available, we would have a much clearer picture of our own past. The loss of the library serves as a powerful and enduring warning. It reminds us that knowledge is fragile and that civilization is a thin veneer. Protect your libraries, cherish your scholars, and never, ever take knowledge for granted. The burning of a book is the burning of a possibility. Ultimately, the Library of Alexandria fascinates us because it represents a dream, the dream of a world united by the pursuit of understanding.